Today on All Things 80s, it's the return of the random Star Wars figure review. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now, it's been quite some time since I did a random Star Wars figure review. I hope I can remember how to select the number. So I'm going to go ahead, select a random number, match it up to the card back, and review that figure. So number 27 has given us the Emperor. Now, the Emperor was first released as part of the second wave of Return of the Jedi figures in 1984 and was available via a mail-away. Now, the one I have right here was part of the mail-away. I actually bought this a couple years back blindly. It was a sealed mail-away box, and upon opening it, I discovered it was the Emperor. And when I opened that sealed baggie, the smell just hit me. It's almost as good smelling as a TIE fighter pilot. Not quite, but almost. Now, I just want to warn you out there, if you are thinking of buying a blind mail-away box, just be warned, there's a 99.9% chance it will be the Emperor. You're not going to find a rocket-firing Boba Fett. You're not going to find a Bosk or a Forlom, anything interesting. I've done it 3 times now, and each time I've gotten myself another Emperor. Now, it's a pretty simple figure, it has to be said. Not too many colours going on. We have grey for the robe, lighter grey for the skin, yellow for the eyes, and black for the pupils, and that is it. Now, it's said there were slight variants of this figure, those variants being a more detailed sculpt of the robe and hands versus a softer sculpt, and there are different shades of grey plastic used. Nothing that would ever tempt me to buy another one and claim it to be a variant, but there you go. Now, the figure itself, I mean, this was the most menacing character in the entire galaxy, and to me, it just looks rather cartoonish. And ultimately, it's an old man in a robe with a walking stick. Not the most exciting of figures for kids. By the time this was released, I had lost my interest in Star Wars, so I didn't even know this figure was around. If I did, chances are I would have used my pocket money for something else. Now, card back wise, as I said, first released by way of a mail-away, but it then was issued on the Return of the Jedi card. And this was one of the few figures that made its way into the Power of the Force line. So he was released on the Power of the Force card back with a coin. And in Europe, he was also on the Tri logo card. Now, as a standalone figure, it's not something that many boys would have been lusting after. However, it has to be said that if you are setting up a diorama and have him surrounded by a few of his royal guards, it does look pretty impressive. And if you're lucky enough to have the Imperial shuttle, you can do a really great display with that. As with a lot of these figures that Kenner gave us, they made some really bizarre choices, especially given the fact that by the time we're into the second wave of Return of the Jedi figures, they were using a lot of fabric in their figures. And given that his only accessory was a walking stick, they could have used fabric in this. The sculpt itself, I mean, it does look pretty convincing as a robe, but just in terms of making it slightly more appealing, they could have used the fabric goods on this, but that again is just my opinion. So all in all, one of the least impressive figures, nevertheless a very important character, and as I mentioned, it does look good in dioramas, especially if you have a lot of Imperial figures. And of course, him being the leader standing in front does look good. So that was a look at the Emperor figure, and as I said in the review there, not one of the better figures, however, a very important character, and if you were into building scenes from the movie, you will of course need to have an Emperor figure. So hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, with special thanks going out to the patrons. Please like, please subscribe, and as always, stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.